Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today what we are talking about is all about the grown Aries women. Now a lot of information obviously is available online, so you can read all about the Aries women in general. However, what I want to talk about is the grown version of an Aries girl. Woman, let's call her. And that honestly is a little different than to her younger version. So let's talk about the grown Aries woman and let's dig deeper into her characteristics and how she becomes different when she grows and gets older than to what she was when she was young. Okay, so the first point I can truly say is I think as a young Aries, usually what's very common about them, they are so impatient, which is obviously also why that they're not able to always complete tasks so quickly, because impatience is like their trademark, and that is something you probably are already aware of. However, a grown Aries is a little different, so we're going to talk about that in a bit. But let's talk about like generally how an Aries woman really is. She's very much like a leader. That is how she was born. She knows how to lead a group and she knows how to lead them somewhere. She's not the type of person that will lead you somewhere and then leave you kind of halfway there, if that makes sense. So she very well takes responsibility for other people. But sometimes what she lacks is she cannot sometimes take responsibility for her own self. Why? Because again, she gets so impatient, she lacks that motivation to drive herself sometimes, and it really takes a lot of courage and time for her to get to that point where she really has that motivation to drive her own self. Another common perception about Aries women is that, they're really mean, they're all about me, they're really selfish. And while that may be true, because Aries is also like, it falls under the first sign in the zodiac circle, which is why they definitely are all about me, because they are literally the firstborn, they are the first child of the zodiac signs, which is why they are known to be kind of like a little mean, very selfish, very impatient. If they want something, then that's just theirs. They can also be very possessive in a way, but they're hardly ever jealous. I think the reason, okay, let me explain this point because this is so important. The reason I say they don't really get jealous is because of their selfishness. When you are a very selfish person and you're just thinking about myself, like me, how do I get better? What do I do in my life? Blah, blah, blah. If you're always trying to figure out your own crap, then you really don't get that time and that energy left enough to be able to get jealous from somebody else. Does that make sense? Which is why you will rarely ever find an Aries woman jealous from other women, because small talk is something Aries kind of never does. They're never going to be that person that is going to sit with a bunch of people and talk about what designer is this person wearing or what are they doing, and they're just not interested because the me comes in. So it's all about them. How can they improve themselves? What are they going to do next in their life? Oh my god, what mistakes have they done before? They do think a lot. As time goes by, they become a bit more sensible and very sensitive also. The younger Aries, again, doesn't think too much. She actually does things first and later she's like, oops, oh my, what did I do? This is like a very common trait of an Aries person. Whether she's young or older, she commonly really always kind of does that, where she does things first, she does a lot of mistakes, and then she's like, oh damn, what did I just do? What did I just say? She does those things quite a lot. But with time, as she grows a bit more older, she understands and she starts thinking a lot more. And then that's where she becomes a bit more mature and she starts thinking first and doing things later. She thinks first and then starts taking decisions. Like around like maybe 30 or so. That is where she becomes like a really good version of an Aries. And because Aries women are so impatient, it's also another reason why they learn things the hard way, because they really don't think much. They just do things quickly and then they do a lot of mistakes, and that is why they learn things the hard way, which is crazy. Because Aries women always had this problem where she does mistakes first and then thinks later. Because of that problem, what happens is she starts also losing trust in people, because a lot of crap then happens. So by the time she's a bit more older, she realizes that she's lost a lot of friends, she's lost love, probably she's lost a lot of feelings, she's lost a lot of trust in people and humanity in general, and she becomes quite hurt. And that process really leads to her evolvement, improvement, development, and she really evolves into this grown Aries woman who becomes quite softer in her demeanor. She's still like that fierce, fiery Aries that she was born with, obviously with that fire, but she becomes definitely a bit more quiet in her demeanor, a bit more peaceful, a bit more calm, and not as impatient as she was born like, you know. And she definitely starts thinking a lot more, and she also becomes quite emotional and sensitive with time because of all of these problems that has always happened. And that again is a good thing, because now she starts to really also think about other human beings and becomes a bit more sensitive to people's needs that are around her. And so she becomes even more charitable with time. You know, she starts doing really good things for everybody and not just about me, me, me. They feel like it's their birthright, that it should be all about them and everybody else should kind of love them. They just really want to be loved. Eventually, they're not all about me, me, me in selfish terms. It's just that they really expect everybody to really trust them, to love them. And because they're so sincere with their intentions, they really want everybody to just kind of sometimes follow their lead, because personally they know that they are not going to lead anybody in the wrong direction, which is why they really expect everybody else to follow. And sometimes, obviously, with time, they realize that is not always the case, because not everybody has the right kind of intentions, and not everybody around them has that kind of love and nurturing and acceptance of them like they have for others, which is why Aries becomes a bit more like a loner later in life, but not in a bad way. They still have a very fulfilling life, because Aries women are usually really, really, really creative, because they were born with so much passion and fire, because obviously it is a fire sign. So they have so much passion in them. So they're not really like the boring kind. They're very entertaining people, and genuinely that is why they also, you know, can really easily entertain themselves, and they love and enjoy their own company. They're not the ones to really be bored that easy. And I think in an Aries, in a grown Aries world, it really, this term to get bored easily doesn't really exist, because they don't really know what does that mean, because they are able to really create a life full of creativities, full of activities, full of passion, full of life, full of love, that they can hardly ever get bored, and they don't understand the meaning of boredom anymore, because they're so entertaining in themselves anyway, and they genuinely love their own company. Aries is one of those really, really strong characters that really, really are okay to be with themselves as they grow older, which is why you will see a young Aries always making like really weird choices and weird behaviors, and just so passive and crazy and loud and out of place, and their energy is so high that sometimes it's unbearable for people around them, right? But with time, they become so soft spoken, obviously, even more, so calm, so observant, and so much more intelligent, and really well settled also. And you see them as they age, they become a bit more stable people, you know? It's like, wow, you're an Aries? I hardly recognized you, you know? It becomes like that type of a thing, because they really grow into a completely different person. It happens with every single sign, don't get me wrong, but I think with Aries, their evolution is just so damn interesting. Why? Because they do a lot of mistakes, and they learn things the hard way in their life, which makes their progress and their process of evolvement just so interesting, and also a really hard one. It's never really easy for them to grow, because they are like that child, they're like the baby, you know. And when they grow, it's always this really harsh process. They see the world in a different way now. All of a sudden, it's not as trusting as they thought it should be. It's not really as pleasant as they thought it should be, and people are not as pleasant as they thought they should be, right? So it becomes a really, really tough growth. So once you see an Aries really transforming themselves, it's a very, very difficult phase for them. It's never an easy one with Aries life is genuinely not easy in the initial stages of their life, because they're really inwardly, they're just so different, and they have a really hard time accepting how the world really functions. It's not really like a la la land, you know. And they find it really hard to adjust themselves, and they also find it really hard to connect to other people, because everybody else seems to have like different agendas, different intentions, different feelings, you know. People can be judgy, and I think Aries, being born like this innocent child, really finds it a little difficult to grow and also learn these sharp, cunning qualities, you know. It's kind of hard for them, but they obviously do, everybody does, so they do too, but for them it's harder than any other zodiac sign. If you see an Aries girl, you know, in her initial stages of life, maybe probably by mid-20s, you know, she could be like a tomboy sometimes, because they have so much masculine energy. So she could very well be grown up like a tomboy, but later in life she realizes, wait a minute, she actually has quite that sex appeal, you know. I think usually Aries women are really, really sexy. So it's just natural to them because they have like a sex appeal. So even if you see an Aries woman not as stylish and maybe not like as beautiful like the standards go, you will still find her really, really sexy because she has a lot of sex appeal. She has a lot of passion. She was made with fire. So in a way, she's very fiery, you know, and in her presence, you will notice that, okay, somebody is here, you know. So don't be surprised if there is a group of people sitting in a room and all of a sudden an Aries comes and she does grab attention, like a very strong kind of attention, then yeah, well, that is the Aries woman for you, you know. And even she could be dressed very casually or very like normal. She could be looking very normal, but she still grabs attention. So later in life, even if she was grown up like a tomboy, she realizes that, wait a minute, she's always been kind of cute, you know? So let's just acknowledge that and accept that. So she becomes really, really accepting of herself later in life and understands that, you know what, it's really nice to have a balance of the feminine and the masculine, which is why she becomes a little bit more patient. And that is a big achievement in an Aries woman's life because she was born so impatient and now all of a sudden she's becoming like this sensible, sensitive, emotionally evolved person who's also stable, who wants stability in her life. And she also is very good looking and she's appealing, and she really accepts that, you know what, I can be really good looking, I can be really attractive, I can be really sweet, I can be really, really feminine. So she learns to kind of have a balance of the masculine and the feminine, right? When Aries women grow, they can become a bit more critical of themselves. And I think one good thing about the Aries woman when she grows is that she does not really accept judgments from others. So even if you like judge an Aries, it's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care about you anyway, so I'm not even going to take your opinion as seriously anyway. And I think the same goes with compliments. If you compliment an Aries woman, make sure you do that from a very genuine place, because Aries women doesn't really take compliments that much. For them, it's like, yeah, I know my growth and I know I'm amazing, so spare me that bullshit. But if it's a genuine compliment, she's really going to be happy. Otherwise, it's like, meh, I don't care about your compliment, keep it to yourself. And similarly, she also doesn't really care as much about criticism. So if you give her a lot of criticism, she's probably not even gonna think about it. Or maybe if it's a little too much, she might get sad or whatever. But to be honest, she genuinely never cares about other people that much, which is why we call them selfish. If you look at it in another way, it's not really selfish. It actually serves the world and it serves herself also. So she looks at it like a good thing, you know. Aries also as a friend is the least judgmental. You know, you will have a blast with her, and as she grows, definitely her circle of friends becomes really, really like concentrated and really less friends. But she does that by choice, obviously, because now she understood these things the hard way, that, you know what, not everybody can match up to their energy level, not everybody can match up to their like level of thinking and feelings, so they can't really connect with just everyone around them, which is also why sometimes they're known as arrogant, which again, they're not really arrogant, it's just their energy doesn't just gel with anyone, which is why they become later in life, when they become a bit more sensible, they also become really, really selective with the kind of people that they surround themselves with. So whether it's friends or whatever, you will see them just with a few people and they like to hang out just with the same people. It's not really going to be like lots of people around them and lots of friends or anything like that. They really truly don't believe in that. Somehow they have a very traditional approach. Usually an Aries is very traditional. They like the old school type of things. They like being gentle, they like gentlemen. Aries women actually love gentlemen, and the reason is because they have so much fire and passion in them. It's really easy for them to attract somebody who's very, very gentle, which is obviously a great trait. But as a friend, Aries is honestly a very loyal person actually, because they know that they have very few people with them, so they know how to take care of them. You know how when you have a lot of people, then you can't really keep up with everybody and you can only take care a little bit of everybody, right? With Aries, because they have only very few people who are really in their team, that is why they really are good to them and they really take care of them. They will do anything for you. And if you want a party or anything or like a function, do that at an Aries home. The doors will be open for you, they will be welcoming you, they will share everything with you. Whatever they wear, they're gonna give it to you, you know. They're really open people like that, and they're really giving, and they just accept you. When you are in an Aries team, they kind of own you, and not in a bad way. It's just, yeah, my clothes, no problem, you can wear that. Oh, you're going on a date? You know what, I think you need to wear my new dress. Oh wait, you know what, I got this new bag, this dress, yes, you will have to have that bag with it. Let me just go and grab that bag for you. Let me give that back to you. here, take it, this is gonna go so well with your dress. So these are the type of things you can expect from an Aries, grown Aries friend. If you want to have parties, again, as I said, you can have that in Aries home, no problem. Aries home is usually very clean. However, Aries is very territorial. They were born that way, and also as they grow, they stay that way in terms of they're very territorial. So if an Aries is at home, they are clean, but at the same time, they will have their things around here and there. And you know why? They need to show you they're here. They need to show you Aries is right here in this house, living right here. So get used to this. You're going to see my stuff here. They don't want to make a mess or anything. They're just really, really territorial, okay? If you're seeing an Aries woman, again, she's going to be a little territorial. They can be a bit possessive. Possessive in terms of, I cannot share what's mine. Why do you want to share what's yours? I don't understand. Are we not sincere to each other? Like, what is it? So she finds things quite insincere when they kind of don't go her way, if that makes sense. Also, as a friend or even as a partner, she loves to share her feelings and her thoughts. And she really wants you to take her opinions seriously and respect them, because it's really hard for her to just open up to anyone. She really doesn't do that. So if she shares her thoughts and opinions and her feelings with you, and if you don't, again, she finds that really insincere. You hardly tell me your secrets. What's wrong? You don't want to talk to me? What? You don't want me to know? All right then. Cool. Whatever. She's gonna feel really sad, but she's gonna act like really arrogant in front of you, but she's gonna obviously feel really sad and sensitive, but she finds it so insincere that the next time she's gonna try and not share her things with you anymore. Because now she doesn't trust you. A grown Aries woman is also that person that is the coolest auntie that you go to when you need help. Because she's not really judgmental about her own people, you know, they're her people, so she's really cool with them. So even if she has like nieces and nephews, she's like the really cool aunt, you know. You can go to her, you can ask her, she's gonna really support you, she's gonna be on your team, she's not gonna tell your mother nothing. Don't worry about that. Oh, do that, my kid, go ahead. Oh, you need money? Let me give it to you. Wait a minute, you probably need my car as well. Take it, go. That's her as an aunt. She might sometimes also support you with the wrong, stupid things that you do, not because she's crazy, but because she also understands the process of life and she wants you to learn things sometimes the hard way too. Which is why, even though she's a very protective person, as a mother, as an aunt, she's very protective, but at the same time, she wants you to learn things in a practical way, which is why sometimes she will probably, you know, give you the benefit of the doubt and support you with your stupid things just so you learn. A grown Aries is also, by the way, a very an intelligent individual in terms of she picks up things really quickly. You're going to find Aries women to be extremely intelligent, where if somebody is talking in like code language or saying half-hearted things or like half sentences, she knows the other side of the story already before you even complete the sentence. And that is not because she's sharp or cunning. She really honestly never has bad intentions towards anyone, because again, remember, Aries doesn't care about other humans as much in order to give enough shit about anything that you're doing. She's not nosy, nothing. But if she hears anything happen, she knows already the whole story, even if you don't tell her the whole story, because she's extremely intelligent and she picks up on things just kind of so quickly. And that is, again, a very natural trait. Aries is just kind of blessed with that. Now, whether it is a man or a woman, but to be honest, we're going to talk about man Aries probably in another video. Today we're just talking about women, and women Aries later in life, they're even more smart and intelligent than they actually were as a child. I think as a child they were like a little crazy, out of place, not very serious, very impatient, also the troublemaker, because they're so naive and kind of aloof that they make a lot of crazy mistakes. They're usually the troublemaker in the house. The parents sometimes really have a hard time. Oh my god, growing an Aries child sometimes is not an easy task. They are a handful. They are so full of life and passion that you know you really can drain yourself. It drains the energy out of you, because Aries has so much energy as they grow up that their parents usually have a really tough time. And they can be really like an extrovert. They can turn a little bit of an introvert later in life. Not everybody does, some of them do, however. But because they grow up with so much energy, people around them they feel like, oh my god, my energy is being drained out of me. My life is being sucked out of me. Why? Because Aries is taking it all away from you. And now don't get her wrong, she's obviously not doing this by choice, but this is just how an Aries energy field works. If they are in a group of people, they are taking everybody's energy. So in a way you can say maybe Aries are an energy vampire, if that makes sense. But again, they're not doing this intentionally. But however, with time, this trait calms down quite a lot. So with time you will feel, okay, now they're not draining your energy that much anymore. Now they're more bearable. Now you can actually sit with them and talk and just be easy and chill. They're not taking your energy away from you, and they're not being so loud and so crazy and so extroverted anymore. They're just being normal with you now, and they're just at peace and at calm. They don't want your energy no more. They don't need it anymore. They've had it all their life. Now it's like, yeah, whatever, I've been there, done that kind of thing, you know? And also because of this trait of hers, she becomes her own mother in life. So you will see Aries women usually are very wise people. You can really go to them and have advice and take their opinions and their suggestions really seriously, because they're going to give you the best advice ever, which is going to be very practical, based on a lot of knowledge and data, and it's backed up with experience also. Let's talk about Aries and her style as a grown lady. So when Aries reaches like 30 and above, she really becomes really easy with just herself. Now she understands her character, now she understands what she stands for, and she now already realizes, okay, I'm a very powerful, very energetic, very rich, very full of life type of person, and I'm okay with being myself, so I'm very fulfilled as a person. And this is now exactly what is going to be shown in her style. So Aries women with time have probably could have like a signature style which always displays her character, which is somewhat like powerful, like a go-getter with a lot of sex appeal. But at the same time, Aries has this inbuilt quality of making everything look still somewhat decent. So even if you see an Aries woman wearing like leather items or animal prints, she does it in a subtle way where you still get that touch of innocence. So this is like a very natural blessing Aries tends to have, no matter what they are doing. So even if an Aries is wearing like a red lipstick, they're never going to come across as like that really hot, badass bombshell that just wants your money and she's going to run away. No, she can still look really innocent and cute no matter what she's wearing. And this is like a trait that Aries has. A lot of other women have it too. Actually, I think Scorpio lady does that really nicely as well. She also has like this really badass women vibe, but at the same time still look decent, you know. And it's the same with Aries. They can make things look really innocent and very youthful, if that makes sense. Youth is again probably like one of their trademarks. Why? Because they are born with again a lot of naivete. So even if they grow, they still have that childlike touch to them, like that childlike persona. They always have that inner child in them, which obviously always displays in their character. It also always displays in their choice of clothing later in life. So even if she puts a red lipstick on, a mini dress, shows a little cleavage, she's not going to be looking slutty. You know what I'm saying? She's still going to manage and be able to look somewhat decent somehow. I don't know how she does it, but she will always do it. So if you find somebody giving off that vibe, which where you look at the dressing, it's like, whoa. But the overall vibe is still kind of cute. Oh, well, that's an Aries. And later in life, she really becomes so easy with those characteristics of hers because now she really accepts herself. So she's okay being dressed that way, you know? And she's okay if you're judging her or criticizing her, because in her mind, it's just like, yeah, you can't beat me anyway, so good for you. But just understand the difference. When she's young, she might come across as arrogant. An older Aries, evolved version of an Aries, she's not arrogant anymore. She is now just herself. She's now just really accepting. She accepts that, yeah, people are judgmental. So she accepts it and she's like, yeah, well, I don't care. So, and that is not coming out of arrogance. That's just coming out of a lot of acceptance. She accepts herself and her flaws, but she at the same time also accepts you and your flaws, which is why she's going to look at you with sympathy. She's not going to compete with you or get jealous. She's just looking at you with sympathy. So even if you criticize her, sometimes you'll find an Aries just looking at you and be like, thank you. Yeah, that's what you think? All right, enjoy your night, have a great time. She'll give you like a tap on the back and she'll just go, move on. That's what she does so well, which is why people find her arrogant. But it's really not coming out of an arrogant place. It's just coming from a lot of acceptance place. And that is only when an Aries reaches about 30, 35 years of age, that's when shit happens with her. And she really evolves to that level. Because in her mind, it's just like, we're all on the same planet. I'm just here to serve myself and the world. I want to be helpful. I want to be leading you in the right direction. But if you're not here to be led, then you know what? No problem. Maybe you have a different gang. So good to just go there, you know? She doesn't really then care, if that makes sense. Let's talk about a grown Aries women in love. Now, Aries is one of those signs that is going to realize the power of love later in life quite a lot. She really does not really admire love as an early person. Yeah, she likes the idea of it, she gets excited, but then she can hardly ever complete anything. Remember, that is what we said, that you know what, she's so impatient, she cannot even complete tasks, let alone be in love forever. She can't do that. But as she grows, she starts to realize the importance of love and family and a bond and companionship and partnership. So she starts valuing these things a bit more later than anybody else. So everybody else in the group probably already be dating people, seeing different people, probably marrying early, but no. She has different things on her mind. She's not really dating random people. She's not really into it. And even if she tries the waters a little bit, just to test the water, she's going to realize really quick that, you know what, I cannot really stay in love for that long. I cannot really be with someone for that long. Don't get it wrong, she's still a family person, but she just doesn't give the time of the day to anything that she thinks is not serving me. And if meeting a lot of different people or just falling in love is not really serving me, or it's breaking my heart, or it's breaking others' heart, then that's not really serving. That's not serving me, and that's not even serving the world. So I should not really be doing that, because I'm just hurting everyone around me, and I'm just hurting myself by doing that. So which is why she understands the importance of love usually later in life, and that is a good time for her to be in love, because that is then that time where she would be able to also keep up with that and stay there and stay committed and stay loyal. And another great thing about Aries women is that she shines and glows on another level when she's in love. And that energy, that power of love and the energy of love is something she realizes a bit later in life, you know, after 30, let's say, because then she realizes, so when you're in love, you shine differently, you glow differently, and that energy can be used to get improvement in my career, to get improvement as a person, to improve my personality, and all of that stuff that you want to manifest. You can really manifest that with love energy. And this is something Aries realizes later. So she does exactly that. She does then intentionally kind of fall in love, and then she uses the love energy to manifest all these other amazing things in her life, which is a stable family, a stable career. And that is why I said Aries girls in the initial stages of their life, it will be so hard for them to grow up, because they are never able to have a stable career as much. It's just so hard for them for some reasons, because they learn things the hard way, because they're so impatient, because they can't complete tasks. It's just, they start things, they leave them incomplete, and they just kind of don't have a control on that. Later in life, obviously those things improve, which is why now she understands the importance of just staying committed to things, and now she does that, which is why now she's able to really get a stable job, probably a stable career. Well, because she's always been so ambitious, she's definitely going to have a stable career. And now she really wants a stable family and children. And she is usually a great mother, and she raises kids with a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, and really shares all her motherly instincts with them and all her knowledge with them. And okay, you know what? Let's just say Aries women tend to want to raise legends. That's just how they see the world. If I'm raising a child, it's got to be a legend. You need to know everything. You need to learn by your mistakes. You need to know this. You need to do this so you learn more. You need to have a lot of experiences. They're going to be really, really protective of their children. However, at the same time, you know what? They don't want to accept any less. So they want to raise only legends. So they're going to make sure the kids really go to really great schools. The kids are wearing the best. They're eating the best. They're living in a great space. They have a great mental health. They will take care of all of those things. Oh yeah, and they will make sure that the father is also taking care of all the responsibility that he has to do, because it's so important for her. Remember, she wants a stable family. She wants stability for the children. So she's gonna make sure she marries the right type of partner with whom she can come together and provide all of those things. Another reason why Aries really is going to be a great mother is because she has great motherly instincts. which makes her feel connected to the world, to the planet. It makes her feel grounded. It makes her humble. It makes her value her real self. It makes her value relationship and the beauty of life, and the growth of things, and the production of offsprings. It's just so interesting for her. For her wisdom, it's just this amazing experience. She's usually in awe of that. And why? It's because she's like, wait a minute, why did I not have this before? Why did I not get to this point before? But it is because she had to go through all of that evolution and stuff like that. So once she's now a bit more stable minded, she's going to appreciate these things a lot more and stay committed and stay there, create this family, and just be kind of happy, you know. So later in life, it becomes a bit more easy for her to settle down. Before that, do whatever. You cannot put pressure on an Aries woman. Now, she's crazy. She's going to make you crazy also. You cannot manipulate her, and you cannot really put her into any pressure. The more you give pressure to an Aries woman, they're not going to get compressed. If anything, they're going to become a bit more rebellious because it's an Aries. The more you try to fix them and put them straight, the more crazy things they're going to do, because that is how they learn. They learn things the hard way, and that is just a known thing about Aries. That's just how they are, and there is no other way around it. Any partner, no matter what star sign they are, they usually tend to never get bored with an Aries partner. Aries woman is just not a boring person. She's full of life. She still has that energy. She still has that vibe. She still has a lot of masculine energy, which she has to put somewhere, which is why she has a lot of creative hobbies, because that way she can put all those energy into work. So one day you will see an Aries woman baking, and the other day he's going to be like, oh wow, she's wearing a skirt and ready to play tennis. Okay, cool. She's ready to do anything, you know. So she's really not a boring person. So you will never feel bored with an Aries person, because they have all sorts of colors. So every day you kind of see a new person, and that also makes them a little unpredictable, but not in a very unsafe way. It's still very safe. They're still there. They're still with you. They're still in your team, and they want to do these things with you, together with you, so that none of you get bored, because Aries could maybe get bored with you a little bit. So if you keep her busy doing a lot of activities and stuff like that, or even if you don't do it with her, don't worry. At least give her the freedom to do those things, because then she's going to come back to you and really appreciate you more, because she always needs that space to, you know, put her energy into doing something creative, something that just, you know, is an outlet to all that energy that's always in her, you know, that passion of life and that ambitiousness of hers and that masculine energy she always has built up in herself. It's something just natural. She doesn't do it intentionally. So Aries women always needs a little bit of space just to do creative things, just to keep her going, just to keep her alive. A partner could also find an Aries woman to be a little crazy, because as I said, one day she's going to put red lipstick on and look cute and girly and just have brunch with the girls, and maybe have a kitty party just like the ladies. And then the next day you're going to see her in like tennis shoes, and she wants to go out for sports with you or something like that. So sometimes a partner can find her a little crazy, like, whoa, she's got a lot of energy. Damn, I'm getting old over here. What am I going to do with her? As I said, don't worry about that. If you're a man watching, don't worry. Just give her space, let her do these things then on her own, or maybe with her friends, and she's gonna appreciate you more. Don't be like that homeboy who just always wants to stay home, and you don't want her to go anywhere and do nothing either, because that's gonna be so difficult for her, because she has a lot of energy. You need to understand, she needs to put it somewhere. And even though she loves home, she loves family, she still wants to put that energy somewhere. Otherwise, she's gonna go crazy, and she's gonna make sure your ass goes crazy too. So do what has to be done. Because Aries is kind of a little childlike in a way from the inside, it sometimes also displays, as I said, in her clothing, but also on her face. So she would either have like really innocent looking eyes, or an innocent looking smile, probably with a dimple, probably like a really childish smile that just smiles wholeheartedly. Like, you know, it's not really the British English smile. I don't even know how to do that, but you get the point. It's always like a really full-on smile. She loves with her heart. Oh, and when she smiles, it's like everything around her is smiling, because literally her energy is just so powerful somehow. And a little example would be, let's say you have an Aries in your house as a guest. When they leave, honey, you will notice, oh, you're gonna miss them. You are going to notice, because they came with all that energy, with all that life, with all that passion, with all that fire and ambition and so much. and you were intrigued by that. You never had this much happiness in your house. It was contagious, and now it's gone. It's like, wow, everything is dead. Everything seems to be dark all of a sudden, because she is kind of like sunshine, maybe, if that's what you want to call it, but she does have a wholehearted smile which literally lights up the whole room in a way. So yeah, the partners usually never get bored. So in simple words, she brings light and she brings color in your life. Because she has a little bit of that childlike persona and that smile or whatever, she tends to attract a really nice fairy tale. Now, don't get me wrong, she never grows up to believe in fairy tales anyway, because usually she has that masculine energy. She probably is a tomboy anyway, in one way or the other. She probably doesn't dress like a tomboy, but she somewhat is still going to be like a tomboy and think almost like a man in a way, you know. Which is why, again, she will have a hard time growing up with her mother, because mothers will not understand, why is she like a boy? You're my girl, stay like a girl, you know. But because she has a lot of masculine energy, she rebels. Yeah, she makes decisions. She wants to lead you, even if you are her mother. She wants to lead you. You need to listen to her. Because she's not doing anything wrong in her mind, and she wants you to be with her all the time. No matter what she says, she wants your support. And you're supposed to support her, because that's what she thinks. It's all about her, remember? So when she grows up into this really accepting of herself kind of vibe and become a bit more feminine and grooming herself and feminizing herself a bit more, then she really understands the real essence of attraction and femininity, and that's where she also kind of attracts a fairy tale. Unconsciously, willingly or unwillingly, I don't know, but they tend to usually have really great partners who usually are very caring for them, and because they have all that crazy energy, it's really easy to fall in love with an Aries, because they just have like a little bit of that naivete and that innocence to them. So it's going to be really easy for you to really just love her and just keep going, you know. An Aries woman has always grown up to be really bossy, leading, kind of ambitious, very much like that little Miss Independent, but deep down inside of her, she's still very girly. She's a girly girl. So even if you are coming to see her, don't go on her looks. Don't look at, oh, she's rich. Yeah, she's very independent. Oh my God. Yeah, she's very bossy. Now, that doesn't mean she wants a feminine man on her side. She still wants you to be very, very masculine. She wants you to lead. She can be bossy and lead in all other departments of her life, but when it comes to a partner, she really believes in the traditional roles of partnership. So she is still that old school girl, she's that girly girl, she almost wants like a daddy on her side. Well, not really, but you get the point, right? She wants somebody who can lead. She wants like a great father figure for her children, and that is what she's ultimately thinking. She's never dating for just short-term goals. She definitely thinks quite ahead of her time. Even though as a young person, she was always thinking ahead of the time, you know, and always having like these really big plans about the future, about her career, about so much more. So that's why when she wants to attract a partner, she really wants like a great father figure for her children. Ultimately, that's what she wants, right? And because she knows she's a little naive, she's a little crazy, she's a little silly sometimes, she definitely needs always somebody a bit more mature on her side. So just in case she gets in trouble, she has somebody on her side. So she definitely wants like a mature, very manly person who can understand her energy level. And if he cannot cope up with that energy, at least he gives her that space to keep up with her own energy. She definitely wants you to like save her, you know, because she's like a little crazy, a little innocent, a little stupid, actually, let's just say that. So she definitely wants you to save her in a way. And again, this might not be the case with every woman who's an Aries. Sometimes Aries women grow up to be two different people. Either it is going to be that family person, save me type of, you know, she wants to be the girly girl in the house. She doesn't want to lead in a relationship. She can lead all other areas of life, but in a relationship, she just loves the traditional roles. However, then the other Aries is they grow up to be really bossy, extremely independent, extremely into their careers, extremely everything is like exactly how they want. So that is another version of an Aries. So they can be any of these two, you know. Right now, the one that I'm talking about is usually the softer side of the Aries, which they usually tend to become later in life. Even if a softer Aries appears to be really independent, bossy, and strong, she still has a very vulnerable, girly side to her, and she definitely hopes that you notice that. Even if she doesn't display it, even if she doesn't let you see it, she still deep down hopes that you will be able to see it, that you will be able to see she's a pure, nice person, that you will be able to see she's trustworthy. She just expects that, even though sometimes she might not be able to show that very much so, because that's just how her personality works. She can come across as like really, really independent and bossy or whatever. I don't need you and stuff. But she really wants you to see her, like the real her. Because let's be honest, now if you grew up to be the softer version of an Aries, or if you grew up to be the really independent version of an Aries, both of them have one thing in common, which is they have a sensitive side, and they're deep down really, really scared of heartbreak. Because when they break their hearts, usually it takes them a long time to heal. A long time to heal. They don't become bitter or negative or bad. They don't hate people. It's just now they know, okay, can't really trust people. So you know what? Let me just do my own thing. I don't think I'm going to see anyone anymore. I think I'm fine like that. I think I'm just going to be alone. It's fine. Cool. No problem. They're not usually the player. They don't really become bad girls or the player girls usually, because they're very much grounded later in life. But at the same time, they're so afraid of heartbreak that they're probably not going to meet anyone for ages. And Aries, mind you, is one of those signs. As I said, they're really okay with being themselves. So it's not going to be a problem for an Aries woman to not date for probably 5 years. She's fine with that. When she wants someone, it has to be somebody who comes correct. If she doesn't, then you know what? She's okay being on her own for a long time. She can do anything on her own anyway. She's always been ambitious, and she's that go-getter type of girl. So she can handle everything, whether it's the finances, she can do everything. Yeah, she can change a tire. Oh, yes. However, if she wants the man to be there with her, then she's certainly not changing the tires. In fact, she's going to act like she doesn't even know how to change a tire. Aries also seems to have like this extravagant kind of taste, like that royal, majestic kind of taste, which makes her look very rich, very wealthy. If you're an Aries, you know what I'm talking about. You go to a shop and people start pricing you double for the items that you shouldn't even be paying for in the first place. Why? They see you, it's the rich bitch coming in the shop today. Let's double the prices. Prices are going up right now, right about now. I'm putting stickers up right now. Let me hide it. Don't show it to her. That's what happens. That's Aries. They have a very, very powerful existence. So even if they're coming in casual clothes, they have like a really rich persona. Even if you're poor, Aries, even if you're poor, you still seem rich. That's just what it is. There's just something about your majestic, little ass, arrogant attitude. Everybody thinks you're rich. It can be such a problem. It can be a pain in the arse, honestly. And it doesn't get better with time. No. It stays the same? No, actually it gets worse. By the way, she also wants her partner to kind of give off the same vibe. She doesn't want to walk with somebody when she's looking like $1 million, but then you don't have to be looking like a superstar, but be well groomed, be clean, look well put together, look like you have put some effort in your clothing, in your choice of clothing. Like aesthetically be pleasing, okay? Aesthetically you need to look nice, because she wants to walk with somebody looking like a power couple. She doesn't want to walk with somebody like people would think she's supporting him instead of the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it's so important for you to not just be like a caring gentleman kind of person, but financially be stable, because you need to have your things correct just so you can keep up with her energy level, because otherwise she's not even going to look at you. Remember, this is not out of arrogance or not because she is a gold digger or anything. Listen, gold digging is that I want something from you, I'm going to take it, I'm going to run away. She's not running away. No, she wants stability. She wants you to build a home with her. She wants you to have this family with her. So it's only normal for her to expect that, okay, our kids are going to go to good schools. You're going to look good too. I'm going to do my thing. I look great too, or whatever. You know, these things are kind of important to her, to like look great and have like a good social standing, even though she might not really believe in a big social circle. But still, if you guys are working together, you need to come correct. You need to look correct with her. And she's not looking out for these things just, as I said, just because she's a gold digger or anything. No, it's because she doesn't want to be a burden on you. An Aries woman is sincere in a way. Even, again, as I said, she might come across as arrogant, but deep down her intentions are always different. It's something normal human beings don't even understand. She doesn't want to date a broke person, not because she's a bad bitch, not because she's a gold digger, because she knows she has good taste. She knows she wants you to come correct and have your shit together. So if you don't, guess what? She doesn't want to be a burden on you, which is why she's not going to date you, because she's going to give you that space and she'll be like, you know what? Go ahead, improve your career, do whatever you have to do. If you're still single, maybe we'll meet later in life, whatever. But for now, she can't. Now, she doesn't want to be a burden on you when you don't even have your own shit together. So she wants somebody she can respect. And she can only respect you when you have your things together, just like she does, kind of. And even if she doesn't, she doesn't want to be a burden on you. As simple as that. And that's how an Aries woman kind of thinks all the time. So outwardly, she can appear to be so damn selfish. But inwardly, you really honestly don't even know what is she thinking. And when you think about it, when you observe her, you understand, oh wow, she has such pure thoughts, pure intentions. She doesn't mean no harm to anybody anyway. She can harm herself, by the way. She's so self-critical. She can be so hard on herself. She can harm herself. She can make bad choices for her own self, but she's never going to let you be in that position. Because Aries find it so difficult to compromise, which is why it's best for them to always marry a little later than everybody else does. Don't do it when you're a teenager. Don't do it when you're just early 20s. Don't do that, because you know later in life you won't be able to stick to that. It's going to be so hard for you to go through another evolution in a way, you know. It's already hard enough for you, so another one, oh Lord, save us. It's always good for an Aries woman to always marry a little later, when she knows everything, when she accepts everybody and everything, she understands things, she's a bit more stable, she's more patient and smart, because now she thinks before doing any stupid thing. Unlike before, she was doing crap before all the time, but later on she was like, oh my god, what did I do? I didn't even think about, oh my shit. It's not the same anymore, which is why now is a good time for you to settle down, because you're going to be fine now. She's not going to suffer, and she's also not going to make you suffer, which is really important for her. She doesn't want her partner to suffer because of her. She's not that selfish. She appears to be selfish, as I said, because of her attitude and because of her personality. Sometimes she probably doesn't even know what words to choose exactly to explain her situation, which is why she can come across all sorts of ways. But deep down, again, intentions are always right. For you, for mankind, for humanity, because that's what she thinks in her mind. She's here to serve herself, to please herself, but also to serve humanity in a way. She wants to be loved by everyone. She wants to be served, and she wants to do that from a very sincere place, so you genuinely like her. It's important to her, which is why she has good intentions for you, just so you can love her, you know. So yeah, it is selfish, but it's not. She might also seem to be really like cool, like it's okay, it's just a birthday. But no. If you're her friend or if you're her partner, don't you dare forget her birthday. No, because it's an act of insincerity for her. It's very insincere. If you don't share your thoughts and feelings with her, or if you don't wish her on her birthday in a timely fashion, you're very insincere. She's probably not going to be interested in talking to you for a few good days. It's very insincere. So even though she might say, birthdays are so cringeworthy, why do people celebrate them? Deep down, she still wants you to surprise her. Do something for her. It might not be huge, anything, no. Just wish her. Make sure you do. Make sure you have a surprise. Make sure you have something for her. Because Aries are always so ambitious, they usually build good careers later in life. They're good leaders, so usually they always end up having their own business. Aries cannot take orders, commands, nothing. No. They can give them really nicely because they're a born leader, and they can do that from a very sincere position, and they really want the best for you too. But listen to this. When Aries is in a position of authority, they know they can trust themselves. That's just how they are. They know they're good, and they know everybody under them is in safe hands. But if you give that authority now to somebody else, now they have doubts. You know why? Because they know, they have learned this the hard way. They can't trust human beings. They don't know what intentions another boss might have. They don't know, they might be really evil. She doesn't know if that boss is going to lead us to the right direction or not. So if you give authority to somebody else, now she has doubts. She doesn't know what that person is going to do with that power of authority. They might lead you in a bad direction. They might take advantage of everyone. So she doesn't trust power figures. She doesn't trust authorities. If she's given that position, she knows everybody's in safe hands. If somebody else has a position, she now does not know if she is in safe hands. And along with that, now she doesn't know if everybody else is also in safe hands. Now she has doubts. And she's thinking of everyone like that, you know? Which is why they will end up making great careers for themselves, where they're their own boss, they have probably a few people working for them, but in really good, friendly, cool type of environment. Very creative, very colorful, whatever. But they will have like a really cool team that is genuinely gonna like them, you know. They can be very bossy sometimes, don't get me wrong. They know how to get work done. They're gonna be a strict boss, but at the same time, really good by heart and really take care of their teams, because they're naturally born leaders, and that is what in their mind a leader does. They lead everybody in the right direction with a lot of love. You know why? Because what do they want? They want everybody to love them, so they're going to do it in a very pleasant way. So with that, guys, I think I'm going to finish this video. That was a really long video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Find me on Instagram, meladyesha, and yeah, do give me suggestions for the next video if you want to hear anything. If you also want to add anything to this video, please let me know. But yeah, this was just a video concentrated on a grown Aries women and all the good things. We haven't really talked about anything bad. So thank you. Bye.